last time there was a delay. So I'm assuming I'm live on YouTube right now. Welcome, everyone. We'll wait for a few more people to join. I'm also going to add Super Dave, Super Lewis tonight, and Super Duper Claire because Todd and Yabs were tired and busy. So welcome, David.
Hey.
Lewis.
Hello, everyone.
Let me try to make this so it's not blocking anyone.
Yeah, it's not my face, is it?
Can I make it smaller? I don't think
I
I
can see all of you guys just fine. You all look absolutely dashing.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's just that you have your big question on top of your head. That's the whole.
Yeah, how do I make that smaller? It doesn't go smaller.
Oh, no.
What if I put it right up the top there so it can just cut off my bald head and David's
Can you
top
make
of his
it
headphones?
smaller? Can you make it a bit thinner?
No, not that I can tell. It's just that's what
Okay.
it is. That'll be fine up there. I'll just kind of lean that way.
Okay.
All right, let me start Instagram.
Yeah.
Talk amongst
No
yourselves.
worries.
So
Let's
do
go to Instagram.
we go into that straight away, Tommy? Once you've loaded it as well?
Yes, please. Yeah,
Okay.
don't leave me hanging too long.
This is a tight ship operation.
Oh, look, he's had a lot of practice.
Absolutely.
Well, this is the
on
fourth.
timeliness.
He's
This
quite
is the
proud of his
sixth week in a
achievement.
row that should be able to make it work.
Let's see. Fingers crossed. Stop jinxing us.
Yeah.
Tell us the story about Louis joining.
Yeah, go.
No, I was just going to say, please, Tom, tell us the story about Louis joining the YouTube.
I will. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure everyone hears it.
You're making it sound so ominous, like I've really done something wrong.
Or it's done something
no.
right and shown us all up. G'day, folks. We are now live on YouTube and Instagram. Feel free to join on either. We're just going to wait for Claire, Lewis, and Dave to join because they are already with me on YouTube. And once everyone has joined, I'm going to praise Lewis in particular, also Claire, but in particular Lewis. G'day, Eddie. There's Claire already. Hey, Tamara.
Hello, everyone.
Make sure you
Hey, Christian and Cade.
Oh yeah, put the link on the Instagram live just in case.
Yeah, it's a good move.
Did anyone actually click that though? All right, we have David. We have Claire.
Whoa, this is freaky.
Lewis. Yeah,
this is interesting. Multi-camera setup. Okay.
What I need to know is
Get all your angles.
I didn't have the A and the B.
Hear me okay?
That's camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2.
I've got both.
I'm trying a new mic. So can you hear me on Instagram?
You sound beautiful on Instagram, I've got to say.
Sweet. First time ever.
I can hear the dulcet tones. Hello, everyone joining.
You.
So, you might notice that Todd and Yabs are a lot more attractive this week. That is because Todd decided he was tired about an hour ago and just isn't going to join us for an hour-long chat. And I hope he joins and hears me say that. And Yabsy got confused. He thought that his explanation was he thought that this live was cancelled for the week because of Easter. And then he justified it by saying that, oh no, that's Claire's live that's cancelled. But I don't think Claire's live is cancelled.
No, I think I'll still have it. Yeah.
I don't know what
So he just doesn't quite know really what's going on.
He was on the beers already, probably.
He's in the car on the way to another state, so we'll forgive him.
Look, today
He's a
is
nice guy. He
basically
gets away with
Friday.
stuff. It
More or less,
definitely is Friday. Tom's voice has an echo.
Tom's voice has an echo. Your voice has an echo. Does anybody has any sound coming out of the speakers?
Of
the laptop?
Does, I think.
Is it
Does
me?
anybody has any audio coming out of the speakers of the phone?
I do not.
No, I reckon it's Claire's speaker of her laptop.
Do you think I should turn this one down?
Yeah.
Oh, but then you won't be able to hear us.
No, on Instagram. You can hear us on Instagram.
Yeah, that's go.
Okay, yeah, go for that. But
I can
just
hear
so
you.
everyone knows, you can hear me, no worries.
I can hear you all the same, and I've turned the volume right down on the laptop. It's off.
Okay, cool.
Should be
So
alright.
you're listening us to Instagram. Helena has said, though, on YouTube that the sound is perfect. There's no echo on YouTube. And we will be having a special guest on YouTube if you
Yeah, we will.
an invitation.
Aren't we
But
the special ones?
Before we talk about any of that, I want to praise Lewis the Youngin, representing his generation. So we've spent over a month trying to get 4 people on the stream. This is the first time it's happened. And I'll tell you what, the key was inviting someone younger than us. All I needed to do was send Lewis a 2-sentence explanation and he's on.
I was like, yeah, I get it.
And it's done. Yeah, no worries. That's fine.
It made sense.
I think I did okay for an older person, though. I wasn't faffing about as much as you guys were. I was pretty into it.
I mean, not everything is about
our
you.
generation.
So,
But the only reason I'm not giving Claire praise, Claire gets a different kind of praise. She's already done a trial with me on another night to try and make sure she could work it out. So she gets praise for going above and beyond, but not for having just whiz bang knowledge and everything being natural.
Okay.
I mean, I feel
Basically
real bad
Neo.
because my experience, Tom said, I'll send you a link, click on it. And I clicked on it. My phone's like, yep, allowed to access your cameras. Yep. And then I was in.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
It's that easy, folks.
Clicking a link.
It's that easy.
Yeah, and now I
But
have
I'm
a
also not
melanin
using
can
it.
as well. Yeah.
And I'm also not using a laptop, so I wonder if that's why it was easy.
What are you using?
Just like an old phone.
Oh, so you just got 2 phones tonight?
Yeah, there's one here and one's like that, and the front camera's on this side. So they're just mounted in front of me like that. There's some hair ties pulling some solid work, making sure everything doesn't fall over. It's been an interesting experience.
I've just had Helena pop up again. Oh, so that's why you haven't invited me, because I'm older than you. I'm not sure you are older than me. I'm 85. I mean, I'm not asking you to reveal how old you are live on the internet, but
Maybe she's 86.
I'm pretty on in age.
I'm young in spirit, and that's about it.
Helena, to jump on. Next week, we're definitely going to be short some people because Lewis will be on his way to Illawarra next Thursday night. Is that right, Lewis?
No, it's Friday night, I think. So I'm around,
so
I'm around Thursday. Friday. Yeah, because I think it's Saturday, Sunday, so I'm pretty sure Bumpin's on Friday unless I've really got my dates wrong, which I'm not going to discount that I have. But at this stage, I'm meant to be driving down on Friday. Yeah, that's the plan.
How long does it take you to get to Illawarra?
2.5 hours. It's pretty quick.
Oh wow, that is quick. Okay.
Yeah, that's sort of one of. As much as I did really like the idea of going to Bendigo again, having it not 7 hours away is pretty nice. To be honest, it's quite appealing.
You're in Canberra, aren't you, Lewis?
Correct. Yeah, I've been here for a couple of years now. So I mean, it was good to go to Bendigo once. I do enjoy very much having gone to that first run, but gee, that's a long drive. And I mean, the Melbourne one is too. But yeah, doing it twice, it gets hard very quickly.
Yeah, that's very fair. Cade has said, "Us youngins to the rescue." Maybe Cade's the next contestant, because next week
exactly.
I don't need to. I'm in Lewis's position. It's like 2.5 hours to Bendigo for me next Friday, and Bumping doesn't start till 5 p.m. But Todd and Yabs have to do that longer drive to get there. So Todd and Yabs will not be available next Thursday night. So if you guys are, I think David's available next Thursday. He's not going to Bendigo, is he?
I'm always available, dude.
Yeah,
except on Saturdays. You're not available on Saturdays ever, though. You're always busy on Saturdays.
Weekend celebrity party life.
Yeah,
he has a big weekend.
Too many guest appearances.
Just real life.
Paid guest appearances, I'm sure.
Yeah, what else are you doing?
Don't you know who I am?
Tom, do you know who I am? Well, apparently not a lot of people know. So
everyone.
I'm not complaining.
Everyone knows. Shut up.
I think you explained it to me well, David, where you're really popular with a certain age group for about 2 years, and then they grow past that, and they've completely forgotten that you exist. I think that's how you described it to me.
That's pretty much it.
I don't know. I consider you. I'm starstruck, and it's been. Oh no, it's been about 2 years. So next year you might be on you.
Yeah, and you're on the chopping block.
You? What do you mean you starstruck? I'm starstruck with you. You're Tom. You're the brick shelf.
Oh my God! Stop licking each other's wounds.
The king of the king of the trophies. Tom has a reputation.
Yeah, dude. You have more trophies than I do. So
I don't think I could. If I broke down all my trophies and tried to assemble a trophy the size of yours, I don't think I'd make it. Is what I'm saying.
He's like, give me 2 more years, and you'll be there.
It's not about the size, dude. It's not about the size.
But like, it's helping in this case.
Bill's on his way to Bendigo too next weekend. 3 hours from Cranbourne.
Ooh.
I thought maybe it's more. Maybe it's like 3 hours from me too. I feel like Cranbourne's closer than me to Bendigo.
Where are you?
I'm Chelsea.
I don't know where that is. That's odd.
It's like southeast.
Ah, yeah.
Cranbourne.
Yeah, I was always
coming on Instagram. Sorry, Buck Bricks. Who's Buck Bricks? Do I know Buck Bricks?
He's on the Gold Coast. He has a bricklaying store on the
Gold Coast pub. Yeah, I get bricks from him.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to make it to Bendigo this year, which I'm really bummed about. But it's a matter of logistics, pretty much.
That's fair.
That's how
Box actually, Kate. She's from Melbourne. I think Pakenham-ish area. She's a mug.
Yeah.
Kristen said it's going to be funny to manage 2 chats today. I've got to say though, this is the 3rd time we've actually got on, I think, with 2 chats. I did all right last week. I did way better than the week before. So I don't want to predict. I don't want to jinx myself, but maybe I'll do better than last week this week.
Well, it's going fine so far.
To be honest with you, you're going to have to call them out because I haven't seen a single message on Instagram. I've seen one.
Oh.
Sorry.
Is it too far away? Cade said, I'm not sure if I'll make it to Bendigo. Had people asking me to come. Come on down.
Please. Can't you get a train there? God.
G'day, Cam. Cam will be bringing his Space Burger cafe to
that was
Bendigo.
Cool.
That was very cool.
Bendigo is next weekend, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's next weekend. Cool.
Yeah.
That might actually.
Yeah, they're both next weekend. It's.
Are you in Melbourne, David? Are you a Melbourne
member of the public? Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Member of the
you
public.
You don't have that far to
Just
go.
wander in. Yeah.
No,
come for lunch.
Tickets. We'll go. Tickets are still available, right, or not?
Oh, it's just going to make.
You don't need a ticket.
Just go
you
in.
Can be my plus 2. Yeah. Come for lunch. We'll have a long lunch somewhere. Everyone's coming. Mrs. Shelf's coming. Mrs. Yabs is coming. Todd's
it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Because during Brick Benching, we had all those long lunches, and Mrs. Shelf was looking at the bank account and all the charges, like the venues that were charging the old bank account for lunch and dinner and everything in between. And she's like, you went to some really nice places. I was like, yeah, Mrs. Yabs is a foodie. She's on it. She just told us where to go. And then she's like, maybe I'll come to the next one.
Oh, that's cool.
Easy as. So the kids.
How long is the drive to Bendigo? It's 2.5 hours from here, right?
Yeah, from me it is 2.5.
Yeah, for me it's pretty much the same.
That'll be nice. Child-free weekend. That's lovely.
Here we go, Christian on Instagram. And the time you had travel from Germany to Australia. What would that be? Germany to Australia to Bendigo.
Grueling, whatever
At
it
least
is.
2 days.
Grueling is exactly what it would be. Grueling.
2.5 hours?
G'day, Claire on Instagram. All right. Oh, Helena said, I don't know if I should share that on the live, but she said in the comments on YouTube, it's next weekend, better build something. I'm kind of in the same boat. Clayface has not evolved. I don't know if you can see him down the end there. He hasn't really evolved from Brick Benching days. The head's still there. It's still beautiful. And the helicopter is still a Technic frame that spins. So,
are you doing the arm?
This weekend, I'm going there. Yeah, my plan is to do the arm.
Yeah.
If I don't get it done for Bendigo, I'll get it done for what's next. Sydney? You going to Sydney, Lewis?
I am going to Sydney. I wasn't sure if my schedule was going to let me, and it was very kind for once. So, I'm really keen. and I got some stuff ready to show. So that's
cool.
That's going to be exciting. I'll have
Yeah, you
Bo-Katan. I reckon I'll have Bo-Katan and a couple of things ready. I got one build I've been working on, which I need to. I'm ordering the parts for, but I'll reveal the rainbow sketch, which.
Oh
yeah,
that's
I love
awesome,
that
dude.
thing.
The Riddler trophy from Arkham. I'm really happy with how it turned out, but rainbow builds sometimes when you're just trying to figure out if it actually will work, because I'm using just 4 Mixels joints on angles to hold up the top, and I didn't know if it was actually going to work. Turns out it works very well.
Pretty solid. Nice.
Yeah. None of the gears move, but this one does, just for no reason. Then why not? They don't do anything. Like, that's how many gears are on the prop. There's 3, and they don't touch, and none of them are on spindles. It's the weirdest design. But I'm pretty happy with how this version's
the most
come out.
elaborate fidget toy ever. Just spin that one gear.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and the guys are going, oh, how do we light it up? I'm like, I don't know. It's a solid brick outline. But I'm thinking what we might try and do is just
run green LEDs.
Yeah, just put some green LEDs in the gaps between the plates and just make the whole thing like ominously glow.
Yeah.
I realized I was showing this to the
my new
Instagram.
nightlight.
What is the point of this?
That's beautiful. So, we are doing it again. We're 15 minutes in and we haven't talked about the topic yet. We're here to talk about how you pack your build to exhibit at a Lego show. And I was trying to cut it down because it is cutting off half my head and David's top of his head, but I didn't know how to express that with less words. And it's too late for feedback, so that's what it is this time. I was just trying to think about it again, but no, we're just keeping it there. So, who would like to discuss first? Claire hasn't exhibited a Lego show yet, have you?
No, but I will need to know how to move this thing off my table. 48 by 48 plate is the biggest one. I don't know. I'm going to have to get a bloody wide and high tub for it. I don't know. I'm not going to make my own thing.
Cade just recommended hopes and prayers that it makes it there, and that'll solve everything.
You do need a little bit of that. Like that is required.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work without it.
Hi, Caroline.
It never. You can never make it without thoughts and prayers.
Well, that's what I thought I'd mention. You know, they're talking about what are your techniques for moving. And some people might have seen a few of mine are, I guess, questionably chaotic. Questionably chaotic. Mostly it's moving that wall of lightsabers because as some people have seen, and I've seen horrified looks, I just dump them into a tub.
Yeah,
like they all get raw stacked on top of each other. At least these days I do it in like an order bottom to top, so it's a bit easier to mount them on the board. But it used to just be chaos. Throw them all in, the box rattles around, they all shatter, and then as I'm pulling them out, you just put it all back together. And like it's fine. But that's I don't know if that's the best long-term solution.
Bubble wrap does it for me every time.
Bubble wrap is smart.
Yeah, I use a lot of bubble wrap, especially with these guys. So these are pretty easy to pack, but I just put a lot of bubble wrap on it.
Oh, look at that.
That's so cool. I want that.
Yeah,
can I have that?
No. Well, no, for a modest price, you might.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, reminds me of David Kimmett's last episode. Love it.
Yeah. So with all the Ultra Fix, I use bubble wrap.
I'm just going to stop you, David. This one's directed at you, I believe.
Yeah.
AC Bricks on Instagram. I've heard you need to make sure you actually put it in the vehicle. Is one of the steps for packing a build. He's not right.
That's a very spot on. Who was that? Was that Todd?
That was Cam. That was.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that Todd? That's what Todd would say.
Todd? No, that was
that's right. Cam. You got to make sure. For those of you who don't know the story, last year for Brixpo, I made a bunch of this. So I had all my new Ultra Fix. And at the same time, I was moving houses. So I had all the boxes with the packing of the house in the living room. I popped the boxes with the builds that I was going to be exhibiting on the car. And when I got to Bendigo, to Adelaide, I realized that I forgot one of the boxes that had all the new builds that I had for that particular year. And I was... Yeah, some people had fun. I did it. But,
we're still having fun. I wasn't
Yeah.
even there, and I'm still having fun.
It is pretty funny.
No. Some people
I'm
are
worried
still
about
enjoying
that,
it. So no.
Because my whole Lego studio has just been turned upside down and reflected. So I've got my stuff that I need to take everywhere, and I keep looking at things and going, I should really put that in a spot before I forget it. I should put that in a spot before I forget it. I just don't have a spot yet. So
No, dude.
might
You know
do
what
a
I
David.
did?
Bendigo.
I got masking tape from Bunnings in the brightest color that I could find, and all the boxes that are display boxes, I just put masking tape in a bright pink or bright orange or lime
Smart.
green is the one that I have now. So I know that
Yeah.
those are the boxes that I need to put in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I normally
Branding.
unpack them because I like to put my helmets out, but I've just not done that since Brickvention, and everything has stayed in the exact same tubs. But the whole thing is they've been sitting in a carport, which is under our house, which isn't
Ooh.
airtight, and kind of just been in tubs in the sun for about 3 months. And I
Oh,
kind of the
no.
other day went, I should probably have a look at that. Totally fine. Those Bunnings tubs with the grey
Oh
sides.
yeah.
It's literally been rained on, wind, sun. Not
Oh,
a
yeah.
single,
Oh, that's good
not
to
a single
know.
colouring.
No.
Because
Nice.
I always the UV damage getting through, but no, they seem to have been fine.
Wow,
But
that's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
long
Awesome.
story. I probably won't be doing that more long term, but just became one of those things where you go, yeah, I'll get
And
to that.
they're just bunny ones, are they, Lewis?
Yeah, those grey
they're
ones with the green tops. They're really, really useful. I mean, I've got heaps of them because I use them for storing everything.
Yep.
These are
Yep.
the tops.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment,
Yeah.
we use those green lids as building trays. Like if we're
Oh,
building,
wicked.
so if I'm building on the coffee table, I'll put all my bricks on those so I can move them off later. And yeah, they're quite useful as like actual building trays because they've got the little notches so you can kind of segment
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
parts
Yeah.
around. Yeah,
Yeah.
it works
Stuff
quite
doesn't
well.
roll the whole way across. That's a great move. Yeah, I
It
bought. I think it was Troy. Say no to lime green. He recommended them. This was my first build, and yeah, so I made everything. I made sure that there were 6 sections to the Ninja Turtle there that fit in those boxes, and I ended up being able to turn them upside down and just shove them in. So it only fit into 4 of those tubs in the end, which is lucky because only 5 of those tubs fit in my car. So I've got one tub that will just never travel. Unless I start getting ambitious and strap it to the roof.
Yeah, I still haven't been game enough to engage the roof racks yet. Like the idea's there, but there's a lot of confidence that goes with that I don't know that I'm quite ready for.
Elena
Have you
on
built-
YouTube has just said he recommended them, but they're lime green. You're absolutely right. The irony is one of the things that drew me to take his advice. And also lime green, I feel like that's on brand, Ninja Turtles. That work?
I don't know what happened to lime green. It used to be dirt cheap on Bricklink, and now it's not. We're not sure why. It was a
no.
great filler color, but
I
it's
think
kind
it's a
of
great accent color.
Well, I've been
Bill,
using
on
those tiles
YouTube-
from Bendigo Bricks last year. You know, the bag of the 1x2 tiles?
Yeah.
We just have hundreds of them. I've been using those as filler tiles for
I
ages.
went back and got 7 boxes of those. They're sitting up on the shelf. I've got
An
a
absolute
project in mind.
madman.
Bill on
madman.
YouTube has said, pardon me, has said, "Oh, bath towels hold things together really well." I use, I don't know, the dog food comes in a big box. Obviously, the dog food bag is not the shape of the box, and they just like butcher's paper. They just shoved brown paper in
Yeah.
between,
Yeah.
and I use that because it packs flat. But when you crunch it up, it's a really good buffer.
Yeah.
between the build.
You know what? I'm still packing in cardboard boxes.
Ah,
Even the bottles.
I worry about.
I pack
worry
them
about
in
it
cardboard
leaking.
boxes.
Yeah, cardboard's a tough one. I just find they don't at least for me, they haven't lasted super long, except for one, which were the boxes when we were at the Legoland that Lego shipped bricks in. Because that cardboard is super thick.
But you know what the
And
problem is with
yeah.
the thing that I don't like about plastic containers or plastic tops is that they're not the corners are not straight edges. They're not straight corners. So things, I don't know. I think it's a waste of time. This is my OCD playing around because cardboard boxes are square, are properly square, so I can fit everything in the cardboard boxes. The plastic tops, I like them for storing, but not for packing.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Have you
Okay.
made any custom builds for packing your stuff to exhibits?
As in custom
Like-
boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do now. So I used to have the layer in 6 pieces that split apart, but I got sick of putting it back together because I did 8 shows last year. I just got sick of it.
Yeah.
So I built a big box that fit in my car. It was the biggest possible box I could have that fit in the car, and the layer just slides right in and right out onto the table.
That's
I
really cool.
didn't do that in the first place because Todd said, and he was the only person I knew at the time that it was exhibitable for. He said, got to build stuff that you can carry in yourself, that fits in tubs. There's not going to be people there to help you. So I took his advice. And then by the second show, I mean, really, the first show that I did, there were people offering to help me bring stuff in. There's always someone there to help. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing about this box. It can go on the dolly and walk and wheel in. It's just, I need someone to help me get it out of the car, onto the dolly, and off the dolly, onto the table so I could slide the bill out
Yeah.
and then put the box away.
Bricks are getting loud, Louis. Sorry.
So yeah, anyway.
So that's,
Bricks
me,
are
that's not
very
me
loud.
bagging them. I'll try and put away. It's just me moving stuff around. Just
Shame on you.
These bricks
Okay.
aren't me. These brick sounds are all up me. I've been silent for a while.
Tell us about what
so
you're
it's
up to
Claire.
Is it me? Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Is it
it's
me?
not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
so
me.
they're not. I'm
I
like,
have,
they're not
I have a
me.
brick separator.
All I'm doing, I'm reaching over here, grabbing parts out of the mic view.
Yeah, it's
Tell
Claire.
us what you're doing, guys. I think you told us before we went live.
No, I'm building the Nick Lego Master Season 4. The instructions from the Game Boy. So I'm building his Game Boy. I got all the parts.
Oh,
now,
yeah,
so I'm building
cool.
this.
Cool.
What's he? Is it? I'm trying to think what his handle is on Instagram. Is it Click Lever or something?
Yeah, it's click
Yeah.
over. And I had to do a
Click
little bit
lever.
of a hack. So this
Hey, Rowan.
is 6x6 tile
Mhm.
with vinyl wrap.
Ah,
Oh, to get it green.
Yeah, to get a lime green because it only comes in one set from 1986. So thank you, Nick, for making it hard.
Oh,
But
wow.
here's a hack: 6x6 tile with vinyl wrap.
That is one of the more
it looks-
inspired decisions I've ever seen.
yeah,
And
good
it,
call.
it looks as
You wouldn't pick it unless you pointed it out. Or flipped it over, obviously. G'day, Kev.
Is Rowan
Um,
here?
He's just started. He's just joined on Instagram. Yeah.
Hi, Rowan.
So we've got lightsabers
Sam.
get dumped in a box and left outside. That's the that's the moral.
No,
of
the
that
other way,
story.
I'd say I'll follow that up with things like the helmets. I'm working on
Blame
fixing
Nintendo.
Iron Man in time for one of these. I just wrap them all in old T-shirts. Like bubble wrap, I guess like I could, but like I've just got you get so many old T-shirts, and now at the moment it's mostly exhibitor shirts. Now that you've gone to enough shows, and so yeah, I'll get one of these and I just wrap it in a shirt, tuck it in. But because I've got some big things like this and little, it then just sort of goes helmets on the bottom, dot the empty spaces with the little builds. At the moment with the Iron Man workshop, that's split across 3 tubs, so I've got a third of the workshop in a tub, and then the rest of it's got helmets and other stuff in there.
Wow.
And so
No,
now
I
it's
used-
a bit more
Building that.
intently packed.
I use
I
bubble
remember
wrap
you building
mainly.
that helmet frantically in Sydney last year.
Yeah, build it up until 2 a.m. trying to get it done because the Bricklink order didn't arrive. Yeah,
So
did
that's
not.
one strategy, folks. You could not build it until you get there, and then it definitely won't be broken.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
an absolute mad rush of Tom, Dave Holder, and I in this like little cupboard of a room on Ivor's budget, where you guys are in bunk beds and I'm at this tiny desk trying to frantically get this thing done in time for the show.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that was a very interesting time.
Well, the thing is, your stuff gets broken during the show anyway, so it doesn't matter if you build it on time.
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
don't see many breakages though, unless I'm just not there when
Yeah.
it happens.
They
Yeah.
mostly break if I'm showing their breaking point. I haven't had somebody aside from Caitlin destroy something. And to be fair, that was the one thing that we're like, no one can hold this because it's currently in a very fragile position. and she convinced us to hold it, and it was within about 5 seconds that the front of that shit was shattered on the ground. So, I mean, we kind of
Those
knew that
Lego
was
Masters
coming.
people, they think they can do whatever they want.
Oh, mad with power.
Man, they think they can just waltz into everywhere.
So they can, can't
Those
they?
people.
Who would
No.
challenge them?
Everyone knows who
I
they
just
are.
saw
True.
Sam joined.
Yeah,
And
Sam
Helena,
builds his
Sam on
own
Instagram.
stuff. Yeah.
And Helena was saying on YouTube that he custom builds all his own boxes, and he's got it down. Like, I didn't realize. I thought he'd been exhibiting for years, but I think it's only a year or two longer than I have. He just rolls in with these massive trucks built in boxes, and they're packed with foam. He just pops the lid off and goes plop, 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 turns the lights on and walks away. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
And
It
so
is
he's
a
the one
very
that I often
efficient
ask for
and
help
well thought
he's
setup.
done.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I've only made.
Cliff?
Now that we talk about it, I do have one custom build. I'll show it to you. I think I can.
While he gets that, anything that doesn't fit in the big box goes in one of those tubs. And if it doesn't fit in those tubs, oh, look at this
So
custom
this
build.
is-
And it's strapped on.
This,
Oh, he's got it strapped down.
Yeah, he
that
does.
is the base of the TARDIS. You can see it on Instagram. You can see it on YouTube as well.
Fantastic.
Good plug.
Table with handles and it's strapped.
So you don't take it apart. It goes like that, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not on the roof of the car, obviously.
That's just when he's
Well,
feeling a bit dangerous.
The first time I took it to an exhibit, I made the mistake of putting it on the front seat. So I put it in the passenger seat. And I was like, yeah, it's on the table. It's fine. It should be all right. First stoplight,
Oh,
hit the brakes, and it went like this. So I had to drive for, 20K, holding it with my hand, just kind of like this. So it was funny because every time I stopped at a light, people in the other cars will look at me. They were like, "You okay, dude?" Holding a TARDIS. I go, all right.
If they don't understand, they're not worth your time.
have you ever asked Dave Holder about his what happened to him? I mean, I'll tell it. When he had his builds in the front seat, he carries the Pokemon and Mario in seat belts because they're all glued. Because they're all glued, so he just seat belts them in.
And human sized.
But occasionally, you always know if you get a 5-minute voicemail from him that there's a very interesting story. And yeah, this one, he was driving back. I think it was Brickvention or Bendigo, one of them. And he was trying to open an energy drink can on the drive and dropped it on one of the models. And with all of its sharp edges, it's pierced a hole in the can, which has then started violently exploding all over his build and him while he's driving on the highway. And he just starts recording this voice memo more or less as soon as he's done. But yeah, no bricks were destroyed, but a lot of cleaning, just like sticky gunk. No good.
Here's a mess.
No,
Rolling
I was
on
using the seatbelt.
YouTube.
Sorry,
Dropped
there's a
his
question
PVC
on
balls all over the car park in
that would have
Canberra.
been so annoying, Rowan. Oh my god.
That was on a slope too, a little bit, that car park. I can imagine them all running the same.
Oh yeah. Thoroughbred Park is not kind.
There was a question from Christian on Instagram. What about the seatbelt? Well, it had the seatbelt on, but the seatbelt it's on an angle. So the TARDIS was standing like this. This is the TARDIS. This is the seatbelt, and it just went like this. And Tom is gone. You're gone from.
You're gone from YouTube, Tom. We've lost you.
And my volume.
Here we go.
All right, we're back.
We got a headphone in
We're
both
back.
ears.
We're back. Sorry, everyone. There's quite a storm going on outside, and my Wi-Fi is not enjoying it. So I'm assuming that's what's happening.
Maybe that's
It
what
looks
happened.
like the stream's still going. If someone can comment that it's still going in the comments, that'd be amazing. I know Instagram's still going because I've got that on the mobile data to stop the Wi-Fi from having to do too much work. Rain is pounding down, says Bill. Yeah, Bill's not far from me.
We're meant to
Yeah,
have
the
it
rain,
tomorrow, I
the rain
think.
is
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the same here.
Always over
No.
Easter. Tomorrow's a full moon too. So if you're into crystals and it's pouring rain tomorrow, put them out because apparently full moon and rain is the best thing for your crystals.
For
I don't know.
crystals. What does
Apparently,
that
I
do?
don't.
Give them energy.
Know. Ask a witch, but yeah, maybe. Yeah, it washes and cleanses them and refreshes them for the next curse. I don't know.
For the
I
next
into the-
I've got
Fair
no
enough.
judgment.
I don't
I'm in the
know.
garage playing with little plastic bricks. I've got no judgment.
No.
Yeah, you do your chakras, whatever you
An
want to do.
old housemate of mine used to be right into it. And if it was a full moon and it was bloody raining, and oh my god, we had to get the crystals out apparently. So
I
Sounds
don't
like
even
a horror
speak
movie
English,
that Kev was
so
watching. Rebecca asked a little while ago on Instagram, Rebecca Barter.
Hi,
I know I'm late
Becca.
to the party, but wanted to ask how long do we get to bump in? I'm pretty sure she's coming to Bendigo, and I know that bump in starts
She
at
is,
5.
yes.
I
Still
would
fun
guess
on
it would
Instagram?
finish 9:30, 10ish.
I would
I
say
don't know.
always double check the exhibitor handbook. Always do
Well, I
that
have-
ahead of
I actually
time.
read that today.
Yeah, for just
I
general advice
don't
for anyone when
normally
you're
do.
talking about bumping in, know the handbook because some of them, like Sydney last year, if you didn't read it ahead of time, you would have been pretty toast. And even like knowing where it was, I skimmed it and then got lost. So
Yeah, I did the same thing.
really make sure you know what
Yeah,
you're
because
doing.
you had to go down under the stadium.
Yeah.
And then it's like just a big roundabout. It's just a mass. It's one-way traffic the whole way around the stadium. And I pulled up where I thought, because I'd skimmed the handbook, where I thought I was supposed to be. I walked in, which I started saying earlier, anything that doesn't fit in those tubs or the big box, I just wrap in a big black sheet
Yeah.
and put over my shoulder. So I had the bow staff, I think, back then. So I just had that wrapped in a big box, put it over my shoulder, walked up to see where I was supposed to go, and I walked into some, I don't know what it was, Maker's Market or something that they were setting up on the wrong side of the stadium. I was like,
Oh,
having Lego
Yeah.
around here? Like, you got to go to the other side of the stadium, dude.
oh no.
I think almost all of us did that because I don't. Yeah, that was definitely not an isolated experience. I think we all suffered.
Oh, I
greatly.
have been exhibiting for 2 years, and I always park in the wrong door. To this, and even reading the handbook, I can't find my way around.
Oh, here we go. On
I gave
YouTube.
up.
Word for word from the handbook. This is all of the information about bumping. From Bill on YouTube. Bump-in takes place this year on Friday the 14th of April and will commence at 5 p.m. Please don't arrive any earlier than bump-in time unless notified in the Facebook group. And there's been no notification. Last year it was, I think I arrived the same time as Lewis, actually.
Yeah, because I
was
drove
David.
straight
David was on
from
the next day.
work and I'd left at midday, so I got there at about 8 o'clock,
Whew.
8:30.
Oh, wow.
You must
Yeah,
be
I was about the
exhausted.
same. I left after work, but I was closer.
Yeah, I was in
Um,
my work uniform. I literally drove to work, had everything packed, worked half a day, and then got in the car and went to Bendigo.
Yeah, I got there
Wow.
late at night as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think I rolled in and David was setting up and I just started talking to him and then I realized I should probably start bumping in because that was back in the day when the Lego was 6 pieces and it was really dark and cold in that old shed. Golly. I'm looking
Oh,
forward to
yeah.
it.
So that'll give me. I just made me think of a bit of advice for people if they haven't exhibited and they're asking. Do a test fit of like your vehicle ahead of time.
That's what
Like-
everyone says, yeah.
Like, please do it because like even though I had done test
What
fits,
do you mean?
I've then even come to it and gone, I
Well,
need to rejig this late minute.
Pack it and go for a drive around, for 20 minutes and make sure it doesn't all
yeah.
fall apart when you hit the bumps, like you don't want to be doing
That's a good
that
advice.
on the
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of people do say
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
That's a good advice.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember Toddy doing that because he's just over prepared, which
Yeah.
doesn't fit his personality at all. I'm sorry. He says he's an organized guy, but I don't see it.
Downing it.
But that's not me. Like, I'm still building Day of Bumpin, so I don't know what's going to fit because it hasn't been built yet.
You have that thing that
Yeah.
make it like
Special.
I guess like another little bit that I would give, it's probably my perspective because everyone packs it differently. I think like expect that things are going to break. And so if you can deliberately plan to transport knowing that, it helps. Like, when I've said taking that minifig Iron Man workshop, I have little tubs of all like the floor coverings from the bottom floor and little big things I know are likely going to shatter in transport. I've just separated. And if, like, splitting your builds, if you haven't exhibited and you're trying to do something big, you need to make sure that thing's built in multiple pieces, if possible.
My mountain doesn't come apart, but my church certainly does. It's like a modular, so I can definitely pull that apart. I'm trying to, think of it like that as in transporting.
Yeah, and like you said, you're doing the 48 by 48 base plates. It's like when you're building, you've got to try and isolate that as its own thing if you want to be able to take them apart. Because I think that was my issue. The first Brickvention I did was I didn't plan for that, and I was doing a lot of assembly on the day because I realized I can't pack this thing into a box, so now I've got to rip it half apart, but it's not meant to be ripped apart. Versus now that it's built deliberately, even the wiring holes I've already put in for the light. So by the time you get there, it's slot the sides together, deck it out with the details, clip, done.
How big are those Bunnings? What's the dimensions on those Bunnings ones, boys?
They fit a 48.
There are multiples,
They fit a 48
They don't fit
base
two
plate and a
48s.
32 by 48.
Yeah.
It's like a 48 and a 32 by 48.
And there's a little bit of room. They taper out a bit so you can jam some packing in.
Yeah,
There's grooves that are perfect hand size, so you can go down and scoop it out.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's the greatest thing. It's
and
the
what's the height?
They're about a 48 base plate deep as well.
Okay, there you go.
They're about
the best investment you can make is a foldable trolley.
Yes.
Get a foldable trolley.
The guys at Brickvention, the cafe broke mine. Because they were like, can we borrow your trolley to move the coffee machine? Brought it back, and the whole thing's caved in the center.
Oh, my God.
And they just said nothing because they just left it and left. So I might have to get another one because it's been absolutely destroyed.
I got a dolly rather than a trolley because I didn't think I needed a hand bar because I just pushed the box or the tubs or whatever it is. And I ended up getting like one of the more expensive ones at Bunnings. It was like, $20-30 more than the cheapest one. But it meant that the wheels were real strong and going over like bumpy surfaces.
You need it.
And what is it? A dolly? What's the difference between a dolly and a trolley?
A trolley has a handle. But a dolly's just a flat.
Okay. I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's like a really fat skateboard.
You got the trolley though, rather than the dolly.
No, I got the dolly.
You got a dolly,
I've got a trolley because the wheels. Well, the wheels on the trolley are big as well, so
it's look at the weight limits. Like I'd probably I would have broken mine over time anyway. Like I'd already damaged the wheels once because I'd done up the bolts. I used to have to take the wheels off to fit it into my old car, and I just hand tightened the nuts, and I lost half of the bolts that held the wheels on. And so they started like caving in and bending the fittings. So I had to go and buy replacement ones and fix it. But like, I think I got one with 100 kilo weight capacity, and I'm like, if I'm trying to stack 3 or 4 of these tubs, I'm literally starting to break. Like the lightsaber tub itself, I'm pretty sure weighs 30 kilos.
Oh wow!
Whoa!
Like, well, you think like because they're all the cylinders. Like if
I guess it's
I've got 77 lightsabers are in that tub, including the ones with the blades, in one of those 100 liter
77 already.
Well, 70, there's 78s over here, ready to go.
Holy bananas, dude! That's
Where your tires go?
Oh well, nowadays, great. I got the big lady. Yeah, this is the blade's been taken off, but number 78, another one to add.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But yeah, they like that.
It's
weight. It's weight.
Lewis, did you see the ones that Gus made?
The Gus made. I don't.
Yeah,
I probably
like,
did. I see a few of them.
Yeah. Oh,
they're like
very
much
good.
smaller scale than yours.
He made the 10 centimeter scale ones.
Yeah. I've just done a run. They haven't been shown yet of ones that are 2x2 cores. I've done like a series of those which I haven't posted, but like they're fun. I really like those scale. The 10 centimeter ones he's done. I have seen those. Know which ones you're talking about. It's really like fun to take like just the pieces to try and get as many details as you can in a really small build. Like I don't do it very often, but it is a good bit of fun.
All right, I've just noticed that Rowan is in the green room on
Yeah.
YouTube. There's 15 minutes left of our chat. Claire has kindly offered to switch with Rowan. So for the first time ever, we are going to see if we could get another person to join this mess of a stream.
I love your
Because Rowan
optimism.
packs
It's
GBT, which is
infectious.
a whole other animal.
Oh, hello, cat. Oh, hello, pussy.
Matilda.
Oh, okay.
Little
We
Matilda.
love it.
So, Claire, is there anything you'd like to say before we switch up the seats?
No, goodbye and good luck.
No. Goodbye. Good luck.
Bye, Claire.
When's your first exhibit? Is it Brisbane in September?
Well, yeah, it is, but there is a few smaller ones here in Brisbane, so I might even get a chance to do it before BBX. So
yeah, do
but
it.
yeah, definitely
Awesome.
in September. Yeah, I've spoken to the yeah, I think I'm in. I don't know. He'll probably want to see something.
You'll be in, surely.
Well, I hope so. I've got something to show. I mean, I have something that I can show them. No, I think in May he rang me. He didn't even say to me on the phone, "I'm going to call you. I'm going to catch up with you in May so I can get evidence of what you've built." So
they haven't even asked for it yet. It's a long way away.
Yeah, and I've already got I've got a quarter of the build done, so I'm sure it'll be fine. And I'm going to get a lot done this weekend. Hello, Matilda. I'm doing some power functions tomorrow, and yes, I'm going to do another part of my build. So watch your space. But anyway, good night, guys. I'll see you Saturday.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Tune in Saturday night if you want to see that happen. 9 p.m.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Let's do 9 p.m. I'm on holidays. I got 4 days off. I don't care what time.
4 days off, 9 p.m. Claire's on Instagram.
Except for Dave, because Dave's too busy on Saturdays.
Oh, yeah. Dave's very special Saturday night guy. All right. See you, Claire.
Bye.
See ya.
I'll get Claire. How do I do this? Bear with me, everyone.
Claire, you're always like, how do I do this? But you do it so well. Like, it's been working.
Yeah.
I mean,
well. It looks like you're doing
me thinking out loud.
Like you know what you're doing. So
yeah, it's my coping mechanism, my defense mechanism. For when I mess up, it's just like I didn't know what I was doing anyway. Where's Rowan?
But I love that idea that you're a teacher. Like, well, I didn't know what I was doing.
To be honest, I do that on teaching when I'm teaching as well. I just play dumb. All right, Ron, I'm going to bring you on YouTube. Let's see what happens. This is your warning. I can see you not picking those, just in case you're planning too soon. Hello, Rowan.
Rowan.
And we can't hear you.
No, can't hear you.
Do not have audio.
We can't hear you on the laptop. That is.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if you are.
Still can't hear you. Do you have can we get you on YouTube? I mean, sorry.
Is that better now?
Oh,
Yeah.
we got him.
We can hear you now.
We got him.
Hey, change the right microphone.
Welcome.
Hello.
All right.
How is everyone?
Instagram can't hear you.
Much
though.
better
Can
now.
you get on Instagram as well?
Well, I don't know. I'm just in the Melon app on the website, and
Yeah.
whether it takes it.
Yeah,
I
we
think last time there was a bit of a lag between people fiddling with their microphones and it actually coming through.
Yeah, we can't have Melon go to YouTube and Instagram because it's different orientation.
Yeah.
So that's why we have another phone on Instagram. I just don't want the Instagram people to be watching us silently looking at you for the next 15 minutes. So even if you mute one of them, it doesn't really matter which one. If you just turn the sound down on your laptop or your phone and join Instagram as well, we'll be able to hear you either way.
Okay. Well, I'll put my phone next to me, but I thought I was just only ever going to join through the Melon one. I didn't know I'd join twice.
See how
Yeah,
difficult
that
Tom
was
is
Claire
making our
kindly
life now.
offering to step away at the last minute. So Rowan is, while we're waiting for Rowan to sort himself out, he's Super Captain Amazing GBC Legend of Australia. Is that an accurate title?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Doesn't
sure.
feel long enough.
Sounds good.
Doesn't feel like enough. We'll elaborate a little bit more next time. I think he's about to join us on Instagram.
Well, how does
I'm
this work? Do you
expecting.
get two of me, or do you get the microphone on one? See, what's this?
Well, I
sounds
can't
okay to
hear
me.
you.
I think the idea is you're using the microphone
Yeah.
on both, but only the ears on one, so it doesn't
Exactly.
echo.
Okay,
And if you can turn down,
I've just turned down my PC volume, my
Okay,
big
cool.
speakers I've got there, and using the microphone on Instagram, I suppose. But
yeah, we can hear you on both mics. That's totally fine.
okay,
Yeah, it should be all right.
All right. So, if I was to, first of all, attempt to build any kind of GPC component,
you'd be fine. They are small and modular.
oh, that's true. So
and that's kind of the nature of it, is that, you know, we build these little mini things that kind of link in with each other, and it kind of makes packing a little bit easier, because here is just a whole bunch of DVCs stuffed in a box. And I use, my main thing is the tubs, cardboard boxes, tubs, but I use just old scrunched up newspaper to stuff it all in the corners. So you'll sort of see all that there is just scrunched up newspaper, and it does a really good job. You know, it doesn't need to be bubble wrap. It is just butcher paper. It's not newspaper, so it doesn't stain anything, but I can scrunch it into any shape I want, stuff it into corners, and then just stack everything above. And it's worked for many years now. I'm not sure if I can share a picture, because I've got a packing picture.
Sorry, you have the bricks right in front of the mic, Lewis. This is my husband. Sorry.
That noise isn't me.
Yeah, it is.
Is it now?
Yeah.
This one. What is going on? Because I'm not rustling. I'm just like picking.
We've got a bit of rain here, so unless that's it, out in the shed.
Because I'm not like scraping. I'm just like picking.
Yeah, noisy.
All right.
Anyway, this is some pictures from a few years ago. Brickvention 2019. So this was little Hugh in there, who's a bit bigger now.
Sorry, people on Instagram. Roland's sharing us some pictures on YouTube. If you want to jump across, the link's in my bio. You're welcome to. Or you can just listen to his beautiful description.
So this is, you can see in this picture that it's a mishmash of cardboard and wooden boxes and packing tubs. Down on the bottom on the ground there is actually a very long, almost a metre long ball contraption that I sort of built a wooden box around. It worked pretty well. I actually managed to keep it there for a couple of years. And then all of that.
Just pausing for a second. Is that a little mini moke?
Yeah, we've got a moke.
Wicked.
Rad.
Do you have more pictures of that?
Yeah, I could probably do that. And I've made a Lego model of it. I could actually bring that along to Bendigo.
Please do.
I'd made one. My old boss had a moke as well, and I made him a little Lego model. Maybe.
So like then I packed the car into everything in the back of the Hyundai with a roof rack, and you can see the tarp covering it because there's been a few times where it's been raining on the way. And I actually transported everything like this all the way to Canberra.
Wow.
Hello.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Thanks,
That's sick.
So, which I'll just stop the sharing. How do I stop the share now?
There you go.
So this is one that I built. I built this in 2010. So I've had it for that long now.
This is one that I made earlier.
Normally it's got a motor in the back there, but we've got a full engine in there.
Wow.
Look at that.
But at the same time, it's front wheel steering and front wheel drive.
Oh, of course it is.
What was that?
Just to flex on us, that's amazing.
So this was full. What was that?
The thing is, anybody else shows that, and you would be surprised when you do it. You're like, yeah, of course he has a front wheel drive and a rear.
Well, that's what the Moke is. The Moke is actually a front wheel drive car. The only thing it doesn't have is suspension. You know, I couldn't actually get this in, but this is one of the early ones I did. It's a really wonky sort of at the front there, but I used a proper online scaling app where you can take a certain fixed object like a wheel and line it up against a blueprint, and it'll scale the rest of it and tell you in studs how long does that bit there have to be. And it goes, this needs to be 16 studs long if you want this to be in scale. And so you just feed the blueprints of anything you want. It could be a house, it could be whatever, and you simply line up one known thing. You say, okay, I know this Lego wheel is exactly 6 studs in diameter, then it'll just do the rest for you. And I was able to get all the proportions pretty much right. So,
God, that's so much easier.
Just bringing us back to our topic here for later on YouTube. Bump in at Bendigo will close by 10 p.m. I asked the boss. So what's that? 5 till 10.
That's not enough time.
So, do you get in earlier? What do you do?
I don't know. Years ago, Brickvention used to have an extra day, so they'd have one extra full day set up, and you could get in there about lunchtime, and it was the Wednesday, I think. So Wednesday lunchtime to all the end of the day. And for us GBC guys, it was great. It was a lot more relaxed setup, but I'm guessing that was booking a whole nother the building for another day, so it probably cost them a fortune.
How long does it take you to set up the entire thing?
Depends how many people and how big. I can't remember how many tables Brickvention was, but we had it all set up mostly in the day. I think we are getting better at doing it. I've got the few big ones like the tower, which just take a while to set up. But normally we're not quite working by the next day. So the fan day at Brickvention, the Friday, it's usually the first couple of hours in that morning as we finally get things tested and running and working. So it kind of works in sections. You'll have someone will get their corner set up, but they'll come over and help. And, until we get everything working together, the balls don't go all the way around. So it can take a while. But
how many people?
I wanted to ask you, how do you plan what goes where? Or is that all done ahead?
This is the fun thing. This is the neat part. We don't. It's kind of, we just come down and we sort of work out who's got good things to show off, and then whatever one is facing the audience in the best way, we'll just say, okay, we'll have this big one here because it's a good flashy one, and that'll show off there. We tend to keep our own modules together, but we will pick and move them around. A few of the other guys prefer having all theirs in one row. So we'll say, yep, this one long length is yours. You can have these 6 tables. But it really is decided on the day. The best planning we have, this is just me and Brickvention as the coordinator, is we have a spreadsheet where everyone puts in all their modules and how long they are. So if we know, you go, I've got this module and it's 35 centimeters long, and everyone puts all that in approximately, it'll auto calculate out how many tables we need. And then I can go down to Mr. Peebles and say, we require 20 tables this year. And he goes, certainly.
How often do you change
on the day? It's
How often do you change the designs? Because I'm going to be honest with you, it looks different, but it looks the same every time. Like, it's so insanely cool.
It is, and you get that because certain people will bring their same modules over and over again because they've got good, reliable modules. I mean, every layout will always look different simply because you've got different people in it, newcomers, old timers who don't turn up. So from my view, it's looked different every time. I have a thought in my mind, I remember what the 2021 was like. It was this big L-shaped one. But for a lot of other people, I just see plinky movie balls and things moving around. And that's fine. Everyone concentrates on a few of their own sections. But, we all work together in the end and it mostly comes together. So, yeah.
So many questions.
But the packing is the hard thing and getting everything in one piece. I think I'm getting better. One thing that made the big improvement in the last couple of shows, both Canberra and Brickvention, was actually throwing out all my old crappy boxes and standardizing on sort of one style. And it just happened to be these Montgomery ones from Bunnings, which are, cheap and good enough. And just having them all stack a lot nicer. And that sort of, there's a few other guys around the world that will make custom cardboard or wooden plywood boxes, but my stuff doesn't live that long. I pull things apart after a couple of years. So you could make all these beautiful cutouts like Sam does with his trucks and things. Yeah. But I'm just going to, it'll only do a show and then I'll pull it apart. So
yeah, that is the thing. That is the other thing. How much effort do you want to put into building a custom cut box if your builds are not going to live forever?
Yeah.
Well, after I built my first one, I think it was actually Rowan who was talking about setting that as my standard and making my builds from now on consistent so that they could fit together.
I think I probably suggested that, yeah.
I think it was you. And so from now on, each thing I build each year is going to be designed to fit in the box. It's that footprint and it's going to be that height. Anything higher than that will need to go in a separate box.
Yeah.
So this year's Batman is that. There's flat water with a ridge on. And there's something that fits in the box.
And that's the thing, you can sort of make your own standard. You can do whatever you want, but just that's your standard. And if you want to have something that you want to cooperate, I mean, what the Mills plate standard is, I suppose, good enough. You've got the train guys do their own and Micropolis does its own, but there's no reason you can't do your own style. So, I'm going to work with this. This is where I want the connector pins to be, and then just go crazy.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
that's what I have the cardboard boxes for the bottles, for example, because I found there's some boxes for food delivery. There is the perfect fit for 12 bottles, one next to the other one. And so they don't dance, they don't swivel inside the box. So it's a perfect fit. But
The
with the
bottles must be
creatures
close
and
to
all
like a bottle of wine. You know, there's
Oh,
plenty of
that's true.
shipping options for wine bottles. So
Been
yeah.
considered in the past.
I've still been meaning to improve on this one. I've
Oh,
got to
that
come
one's
up with
so
another
good.
idea to do.
That was so good.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Bill on YouTube said, I have no idea how to get next year's BV into a box. I'm assuming that's a really big truck or road train or something.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the hour. Anything anyone would like to add before we go?
Well, that's it. We're done. Ooh.
Yeah, we are. That's the hour. Keeping it tight.
No, not too bad. I mean, we've talked about different solutions include your custom boxes, getting, like you said, guys said, building to a box standard. David, you're packing with bubble wrap. Got some people packing with butcher's paper, packing with old T-shirts. So really, it seems like a lot of it revolves around use what you've got. You don't need to spend a lot of money. You can use what you've got around you.
I will say one thing. Did you mention the cling wrap around the thing? The glad
No,
wrap?
I didn't actually.
I see a lot of people do that, but I
think
honestly
it's so wasteful.
I don't think it's a good idea. I see a lot of people do that, and so many times you see them unwrapping it, and it's still crumbled. It's still in bits. You're pulling all this apart, and it hasn't done anything apart from maybe dropping the bits on the floor, which you'll solve by putting in a box
big
anyway.
OCD problem, and I have a big OCD problem, and it changes the texture of the bricks, of the surface of the bricks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when there's contact with the wrapping plastic, it's very smooth, but when there's air, there's like a bubble. I don't know. That is just me.
Maybe. Have you done scientific testing on that?
You probably have.
Not scientific testing.
I got one of those.
It changes the way it looks, not necessarily the texture, but it changes how it looks.
All right.
And I just go against
one of those.
What we what I was saying earlier, which I still go back to, is expect that something is gonna break. Like it just will. They all do. So if you can either pre-plan them or pre-break them at those points, you save yourself a lot of issues. Like if you're afraid of it breaking at some point, break it at that point, or design it to break at that point, so it comes together easy. Because if you try and go unless you decide to go the route of gluing all your models together, something is going to break. So try and be in control of it, and you'll save yourself a bit of heartache when you get to bump it.
So for that reason, I used cling wrap for the first time at Brickvention this year, but I didn't wrap the whole thing with cling wrap. I had one of those little rolls on a stick, and I wrapped sections in cloth or old T-shirts or whatever it is, and then I'd use the cling wrap to just do a couple of wraps, basically using it as masking tape. Hey, but it's just wrapping it on itself so that the cloth doesn't unfurl. And then when things do break, I know that it's from that build in that cloth.
Yeah.
And then I carry on.
Oh, that's why I use Ziploc bags for the Ultrafix. Ziploc bags. That's it.
Yeah, that's a lot of the time when I've got decorative things, I'll strip all the decorative stuff off, put it in a Ziploc bag, and then just leave that with the build. A lot of my other key things is the good old Technic pin to design the things that they link together, and you just put the pin in, and then that's it. You do what Lego do with a lot of their builds as well.
You recommended I do that with this banner up here, but I was in a rush. It sticks out the top of the box.
I mean, my big tower has basically these bits here. It's a bit knocked around at the moment, but I slip the next bit in and then just push the pins in.
So pop. I could have done that if I'd had a removable wall on that side, but it's all bricked in just because I was in a hurry. I could fix it, or I could just have him sticking out the top of the box. Now, Christian is keeping us on task. We do, these days, decide what next week's topic's going to be at the end of this week. So, any suggestions? What we can talk about for an hour next week?
Well, next week.
Am I on next week? What's
bumping.
Bump in. What to do at Bump in? We kind of did that this week, though, didn't we?
Well,
No, but
Lewis, are you going to be in next
We'll
week?
be there.
Well, if it's on
No,
Thursday,
it's Thursdays.
Oh, Thursday.
yeah.
I'll be
So
there.
yeah, no,
Let's
I'll
talk about
sign you.
replicating real life items.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Okay.
We can do some good stuff with that.
So Rowan will be in a caravan
Yeah.
at the next Thursday, 9 p.m. So I believe, tell me if I'm wrong, next week will be me, David, Lewis, and Claire. I think we're all available next Thursday, 9 p.m.
If I'm available, I'll join in.
Yeah,
We'll
nice.
see.
And it was so easy. The thing I'm most excited about right now is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people that know how to join without any grief now.
It still is a bit
community
weird
growing.
with 2 cameras, though. I mean, there's got to be a way
You
to
get
get
used
it
to
where we're only using the microphone on one, and I don't need the phone sitting next to me.
Yeah, it's not. That's what I was saying before.
I'm just thinking of
I
Play-Doh
got
more.
this. So I got one of these mics for the phone, and that way I don't have to suffer with the volume.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Yeah.
So.
I think we
got
need to learn to
earpods,
play to
actually.
them. Have it on the side. So you talk to this one, and then you directly talk here, and you just move from A to B
Yeah,
camera.
just switch camera.
Yeah, like
I've
that
tried to fit mine as
newscaster
close
thing.
as
Talk to
possible.
that camera A, talk to camera B, and just try and really work it.
There's a slight echo, but I've got in one ear YouTube. and
Yeah,
other
but
ear
the echo is
Instagram,
coming
just
from
check that
Rohan.
everyone can hear.
The
Yeah,
echo
it
is
is.
coming from
Coming
Brian, so
from
it's
Rowan
probably
because
you
he
have.
doesn't have headphones in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
right.
it's been
Hey,
pretty good.
and I
if
made
people
good
can hear us on
progress, look at that.
Instagram, this worked out quite well.
And I made
Yeah,
good progress
I'm
with
keen.
this. Look at that.
Yeah, I've done a great job.
Looks very
Yeah,
good.
the reason I have Instagram as it is because then everyone's followers from all of the accounts can see that you're going live. If we do it all through Melon, only my followers are going to get notifications. And so you'll just be on through it's not going to help you at all. It'll just be me with other faces on my account.
Yeah, but you're so
Which is what it
famous,
is on
you can
YouTube
just
right now.
throw me another 1,000 subscribers.
But that's the thing. People won't be able to find your account because you'll just be a face on my
Can I be
account.
honest about my guilty pleasure? For the last little while has been trying to catch Tom.
Oh, you've caught me ages ago, didn't you?
No, I caught you like a week ago. It has been my
Yeah.
only saving grace of like trying to engage in socials. Is
Oh,
that
I
I've
love
been
it.
like because you kept going up, but I don't know if I'm going to breach any further. But at the moment, it's just kind of doing this. But that was like that was my goal.
Catch.
Like I just want to try and catch Tom.
You
It's
know
been good.
Yeah, this year I haven't.
I'm not even trying. I'm not even.
I think
So
I
far
just
away.
made 500. Woohoo!
I'm trying to save money for the America trip. Like so, the more I can sell start of the year, it's going to help when we go on holiday. So that's sort of been it. Because the second half of the year, I'm probably going to take quite a bit of a time off and not touch it.
Well, that was me second half of last year, hey, with the new kid. And then this year, I'm lucky if I post anything in between the lives each week. I'll get better.
Oh, no,
I promise. I'm sorry.
I made it to 4K last week, so I'm happy with that.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
The first one's definitely the hardest.
The first
so
K?
once I reckon that was grueling back in the day. But 4's good. Like that's really really well done.
There are some that jump
Well,
faster than
4K
others.
in 3 years because I started this account when we started the first season, season 3.
Yeah, sure.
So it's not that many in 3 years.
Oh, that's it. Like if I didn't
Yeah, it's
capitalize
different,
on it
hey.
during COVID, I wouldn't have had the sort of where I'm at now. But a lot of that was like luck of COVID and the way circumstances
exactly
worked
right.
out. You know, I can't say that it was
Yeah.
planned. or
Although
we
I
tried to
don't
get
post. I'm
I
not
reckon
posting a
last
lot.
year
though.
alone, well, not last year. So the first half of last year and the last half of the year before, just that year, I think I got 10,000 followers in that space. It just jumps like in between different segments. Instagram's algorithm says, oh, people with 8,000 followers need a lot of coverage, and then you get to 9 in no time. And yeah.
It's all hit
We're
and
all
miss
at the
with what
whim
I
of the
posted.
Instagram
So.
gods.
Oh,
I mean, I only joined this and set up for Lego Instagram purely for my Lego hobby, and I don't do any family stuff or anything on here. Is simply Fleur's competition. You know,
I remember
the
that.
first one, lyrics one, that the Beatles one that I did. And it was like, yeah,
Absolutely
okay, I'll
ripper
start
of a
doing this. And I tried doing a few of those little mini tutorial things, but it becomes the effort to do it on a regular basis. And as much as you try and you have good intentions, real life catches in, and you can't be guilty about that. It's just whatever.
Oh, that's it.
Now, and I'm happy with it, and that's fine.
Well, it's like you do it when you want to.
Yeah.
And, people go like, well, you got to keep it engaged. You got to do whatever. I don't think it matters, And also they go the whole thing. If like
there's
your
enough
whole
other
idea
people, enough other content out there.
Exactly. People aren't going to get bored and drop off. Like I'll go for sections where I won't do anything for months. And then I'll have weeks where I'm like firing on all cylinders. Like last couple of weeks, I've been like designs coming out like that Bo-Katan helmet. I'm like, I want to make this. Hang on, this thing's done in 2 days. These things normally take me 2 months, but it just works.
I've noticed that about you lately.
Well, I think it's the practice, but you're like, all right, I want to do something that, and then I'll just go dark for another 4 months. Whatever, you go with when the iron is hot, might as well strike.
Yeah. All right, we're keeping it tight. We're 10 minutes over. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Claire, for joining as well, even though she's not here right now.
Yeah, thank you, Claire.
Can I bring her back?
Yeah.
She did say something. Just
Claire, you're coming back on YouTube, Claire. Are you ready? She's here.
Oh, everyone.
Hey.
Claire, can you hear us?
Hey, up on YouTube.
Oh, thank
How
you.
good is this?
We're going to get a photo.
Yeah.
A photo.
Oh, yeah, let's do an Instagram
Yeah.
photo. Everyone strike a pose or something.
Except me.
I got
I've just got dismantled piece.
Which one are we going to focus on?
Oh
Focus
yeah,
on
do I have to
Instagram.
keep going
Focus
back
on
and forth?
Instagram.
No, it's just Instagram.
I was gonna split my eyes between the two cameras.
Go cross-eyed.
Instagram camera. Go to yeah.
Have we done a screenshot? She's still going. Yeah, I'm loving this YouTube. We can get another person in, and we can focus. Like we can say goodbye,
Yep, all good.
Claire. We can say goodbye, David. Like we can switch it in and out. All right. Next week we are talking replicating real life items. Yes.
Yeah, inspired by I want to say Rowan's mini moke and how you went about doing that.
Yeah. Exactly right.
Because I've never heard of that.
And your lifesavers, come on, Louis.
But yeah, that's the magical secrets of Microsoft Excel. How I do so much stuff. Like
Actually, that would be super useful. And if you did join on a laptop, you could share your screen and show us what you're talking about.
That's one thing that I do like.
I've got some of those.
Yeah, wicked. All right, nice. Thank you,
Yeah,
everybody.
can do.
Farewell, YouTube. Farewell, Instagram. See you next week. 9
No
to
worries.
10 or 10-12 every Thursday.
See all the cool people at Bendigo Bricks.
Yes, that's
Hey.
right. Ready to go, Rich.
Enjoy cool people.
And the equally cool people at Illawarra.
We'll just hang out now, sadness. It's
See ya.
fine.
Bye.
See ya.
All right, let me end the stream.